What's happening, everybody? I'm Robert Price, your productivity coach, helping you focus on what matters most. This is Productivity Boss Moves, episode 9: How to Beat Disappointment and Raise Your Confidence this year. So, before I get into the content, I just want to make a public service announcement really fast. So, I will be releasing this exclusive content in the format of a podcast in the coming weeks. So you'll be able to enjoy the information on the go as you're in the car in transit. You won't have to worry about, maybe watching a video, but you can take it in just, through audio as you're on the move. I've heard from a lot of you, and you shared that you would love to have the content in that format, so I'll bring it to you that way. So between probably by next week, I'll have that information. I'll maybe post that information in the video here, so you'll have a clean kind of transition over to how to still get this content, but you'll get it in that format. And then the podcast will have more of an interview type of feel to it. So I'll have someone else with me, but it'll be still information that helps to move the needle in terms of your productivity at least 1% week to week. So I'm excited about that, and I hope that that'll be exciting news to you and just a new way that you can engage with this content. So that's all I wanted to say there, but we can get into the content for this week. So this week we're talking about how to beat disappointment and raise your confidence this year. So one of the things that I experienced and I see a lot of other people going through is that we have this laundry list of goals that we make for in the beginning of the year, and in that process we may not achieve all of those goals. And we get to the end of the year, we look at our goal sheet, and it's disappointing because we say, oh man, I missed so many. But one of the things that we don't take time to evaluate or consider enough is the fact that all of the life changes that happens, through employment changes, family dynamic changes, scheduling changes, life crisis. Maybe we become a caregiver to a family member who's ill. There's just all different type of dynamics that occur that maybe we didn't evaluate into our schedule, in the beginning of the year. But based on those changes that occur, there's some adjustments that need to be made to our goals based on what's realistic. Maybe something that you thought was only going to take you 2 months or 3 months now ends up taking, based on your new life reality, that's going to take you at least a year to accomplish more of a realistic time frame for that. So, based on that, we get disappointment and our confidence drops because now we don't feel like we're on top of things, like we're accomplishing what we set out to do. So the principles I'm going to share with you really quickly are going to be really ways you can combat that feeling at the end of the year of disappointment and having more confidence when you reach that point. So number 1, the first principle is give yourself permission to eliminate or adjust. I'm going to say that again. Give yourself permission to eliminate or adjust. What do I mean by that? So on your goal sheet, I want you to look at the goals that really, based on things that have happened in your life in the first few months of the year. I know for me, there's different work opportunities that have come about for my family that are important and necessary for us right now. That's going to change my scheduling and what's possible for me right now. So I need to make some adjustments as a result of that in terms of things that I would have had more time for originally, but now that I need to, make an adjustment for. So definitely, give yourself permission to do that. I'm giving you permission to do that. So I want you to give yourself permission to, eliminate or adjust. Like this, you know what? This goal doesn't make any sense. Matter of fact, man, based on what I've learned in the first 3 months of this year, I don't even want to accomplish this goal anymore at all. Like, it's not even a time frame thing. It just doesn't make sense with what I learned. I could actually accomplish that doing this instead of that, so there's a number of different things that come up. So give yourself permission to do that. And I would say, whatever your goal list, if you wrote it out, man, go type out a new list, eliminate and adjust it on your computer. So now when you print it out, you can just have a whole new, fresh list that you're looking at that invigorates you. Number 2, refocus on your natural gifts. Yep, refocus on your natural gifts. Why do I say that? So I'm going to use Michael Jordan as an example. So Michael Jordan, after he won his first 3 NBA championships, he decided to retire. And when he retired, he went to play baseball. And when he played baseball, he had these goals. He started out in the minor leagues and he wanted to, get up to the major leagues. And, Mike was, let's just say he wasn't as nearly as good at baseball as he was at basketball, as you would expect, because he had dedicated his life to basketball, practiced day in and day out, worked harder than, practically anyone that ever played the game at the game. And so, of course, he didn't have the same advantages playing baseball that he did playing basketball. So when he was there, he realized that, maybe this was a mistake, or maybe I should be in the place of my natural giftings, because no one can beat me being me. Like, he was created. There's nobody that really watched Michael Jordan in his prime and seen him play basketball that did not, feel like, man, he was created to do that. He was created to play basketball. And, he realized that on the baseball field. So I want you to, because a lot of times new shiny objects can come into our life, whether it's real estate or e-commerce or affiliate market, all these different new ways of, making money easy. And here's really what I've learned is there's no easy way of making money. There's different ways of making money that if you dedicate your time and your energy to it, that eventually you can be successful at it. But just remember, I'm saying to you right now, nobody can beat you being you. So I really want you to dig into what are you good at? Like, what do you do that no one can beat you at, or very few people, you know what I mean? And that should be the heartbeat of whatever business, kind of entrepreneurial goals, that should be at the heartbeat of what you do, and you make sure that you keep that as a, priority all throughout your life, because all of the pretty successful people, really successful and wealthy people that we see, we look at them and we feel like they have it all together. But the reason we feel like that is because we see them in a world that nobody can beat them being them in. And so we feel that way. But I'm sure there's a lot of things that they decide not to do because maybe that's not their natural, gifting or strength, or it's some things that they add later on after they've built their main lane, if you will, based on their gifting. Because I truly believe this: your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. So never forget that, and get back on the basketball court, whatever your basketball court is. Because Michael Jordan eventually returned back to the basketball court where he won 3 more NBA championships, got 6 NBA championship, 6 finals MVP. I mean, just unbelievable accomplishments. So I want you to, whatever your basketball court is, whatever your natural gifting is, get back on that court and, just develop that and don't stray away from it in the future. And then lastly, number 3, reevaluate your 168 hours. So inevitably, if there's things that you eliminate, that you adjust, and that you refocus on, there's going to be adjustments to your schedule. Because there's really 2 ways to find out what's important to a person. Really, if you look at, their spending, where their money is going, but also if you look at their schedule, that's really going to tell you what's important, to that person. So if you're making those adjustments up there, it can't just be pie in the sky adjustments. It has to be real life adjustments that is reflected in your everyday life. So reevaluating your 168 hours. So it's 3 things. It's you give yourself permission to eliminate or adjust whatever those goals are. Number 2, you refocus on your natural gifts. And number 3, reevaluate your 168 hours. So again, this information is going to be brought to you via a podcast format in the future. So I may record some of the podcasts and still post it to this YouTube channel, but on a weekly basis, it definitely will be available via the podcast format. But this is Productivity Boss Moves, episode 9, How to Beat Disappointment and Raise Your Confidence This Year. If you like this video, please hit the like button below, comment, share. What are some ways that you beat disappointment and you raise your confidence on a daily basis? And that's it. I'm Robert Price, your productivity coach, helping you focus on what matters most. Have a productive week.